Okay, everyone, let's grab our seats. It's close to time. My name's Ron. I'm an alcoholic. Hey, Ron. Welcome to the Conscious Contact Group of Doylestown, Pennsylvania. A couple quick announcements. Okay, what do we got to talk about? We have a commitment every Sunday night. It's a treatment center. If you're interested, there's no time requirements. They ask us to bring a meeting in. We actually bring a meeting, 2 to 4 people. It's the front lines. If you're interested in that, we have a ton of other commitments. So see us after the meeting if that's something that you'd like to get involved in. It'll change your life as far as being of service and doing what we do here in this group. This group is all about service. So if you're looking for a service position, see us after the meeting. We love to help each other. We're going to head out afterwards. We reserved a room over to the new PJ Wellhands on the side outside the bar arena. If you're ready for that, come out. We're going to eat. If you can't afford it, we'll buy you. We'll take care of that. That's the meeting after the meeting, so it's important. But with that in hand, I think we got the world's best chairperson. Let's welcome Nick up here. He's going to have some fun tonight.
Welcome to the Conscious Contact Speaker Group of Alcoholics Anonymous. My name is Nick, and I am an alcoholic. This is a 1-hour speaker meeting. It meets every Saturday evening at St. Paul's Lutheran Church, 301 North Main Street in Doylestown, Pennsylvania. Food and fellowship starts at 8 p.m., followed by our speaker at 8:30. The business meeting for this group meets every Saturday at 7 p.m. to 7:30 right here. Please come early and join us. The purpose of this group is to provide a consistent message of hope and recovery through God reliance and service to others through the practice and teaching of the 12 steps. We record all speakers so that others may benefit from their message of recovery. If you wish not to be recorded, simply ask. This is an open meeting of Alcoholics Anonymous. The group would like to welcome everyone, especially newcomers. Is there anyone new or from out of town that would like to introduce themselves with their first name? Yes, sir.
Hi, I'm Ned. First time here tonight.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Yes, sir.
You guys do the exact alcohol?
Welcome. Yes.
Hi, my name is Carly. I'm an alcoholic.
Hi, Carly. Welcome. Yes, sir.
Name's Jeff. Just coming to meeting. First time here. Alcoholic from there.
Very good. Thank you. Yes.
I'm Brittany, alcoholic.
Hey, Brittany.
Welcome. Yes, sir.
My name is Nick. I'm an addict.
Welcome.
John, alcoholic.
Hey, John. Welcome. Okay, and welcome to everybody. The Conscious Contact Speaker Group encourages sponsorship. Would anyone with working knowledge of the 12 steps and is willing to sponsor, please raise your hands. Excellent. Are there any announcements for the good of AA? Yes, Dave.
Hey, how you doing? I'm David. I'm an alcoholic. Hey. The Lansdale Big Book Group meets Tuesdays, normally at 8 o'clock at the Emmanuel Church on 1260 Welsh Road in Lansdale. This week we're having our 40th anniversary, so food and fellowship starts at 7. Speaker with over 40 years at 8 o'clock. Again, that's 1260 Welsh Road in Lansdale. Thank you.
Thank you. The Chalfont Group tomorrow night is having their 51st anniversary. It's at the United Methodist Church in Chalfont. I have the flyer if anyone is interested. It's at 6:30, food and fellowship, and then 2 speakers starting at 7:30. Come see me if you want information about that. Our sister group is a big book study that meets every Thursday at 7:30 just up the street at Salem UCC Church, 186 East Court Street, Doylestown, Pennsylvania. Coffee is on at 6:15. We have meeting lists and big books on easy terms. Please see me or any home group member after the meeting. If you cannot afford a big book, the Conscious Contact Speaker Group will give you one at no charge. Anyone willing to make donations for the purchase of big books and CDs to help those who can't afford them can put donations in the jar on the table marked Big Book and CD Donations. All CDs are available free of charge. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, the Conscious Contact Speaker Group of Doylestown, Pennsylvania, and our Facebook group. Subscribe and share. You can find our speakers there. Join our Facebook page to keep informed and share upcoming events and meetings. And now with that, I have Brian to come up and read the Just for Today prayer.
Okay, thank you very much, Nick. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Brian, and I am an alcoholic. This is Just for Today, a prayer of recovery. Just for today, I will be agreeable. I will look as well as I can, dress becomingly, talk low, act courteously, criticize not one bit, not find fault with anything, and not try to improve or regulate anybody except myself. With that, I'm going to introduce Olivia. She is going to come up here. She's going to read the AA Freedom.
Olivia, alcoholic. Alcoholics Anonymous is a fellowship of men and women who share their experience, strength, and hope with each other that they may solve their common problem and help others to recover from alcoholism. The only requirement for membership is a desire to stop drinking. There are no dues or fees for AA membership. We are self-supporting through our own contributions. AA is not allied with any sect, denomination, politics, organization, or institution, does not wish to engage in any controversy, neither endorses nor opposes any causes. Our primary purpose is to stay sober and help other alcoholics to achieve sobriety. I have Jack coming up to read the AA 12 Steps of Recovery.
I'm Jack, I'm an alcoholic. Hey everybody. 12 Steps of Alcoholics Anonymous. 1, we admit it, we are powerless over alcohol and that our lives have become unmanageable. 2, came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. 3, made a decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of God as we understood Him. 4, made a searching and fearless moral inventory of ourselves. 5, admitted to God, to ourselves, and to another human being the exact nature of our wrongs. 6, were entirely ready to have God remove all these defects of character. 7, humbly asked Him to remove our shortcomings. 8, made a list of all persons we had harmed and became willing to make amends to them all. 9, made direct amends to such people whenever possible, except when to do so would injure them or others. 10, continued to take personal inventory and when we were wrong, promptly admitted it. 11, sought through prayer and meditation to improve our conscious contact with God as we understood Him, praying only for the knowledge of His will for us and the power to carry that out. 12, having had a spiritual awakening as a result of these steps, we tried to carry this message to alcoholics and practice these principles in all our affairs.
Just a couple quick announcements. We do apologize for the tight seating here. We'll have our room back to normal size next week, and we'll put more chairs out, so we do apologize if anyone can't find a chair right now. That meeting I talked about is posted on our Facebook page, so you can find access to that flyer for the Chalfont meeting. And also, we have a 7 tradition. Every AA group ought to be fully self-supporting, declining outside contributions. At this time, we'd like to pass the baskets. We have no dues or fees. We do have expenses, and this group provides many services. Your donations cover food, rent, big books, CDs, events, and workshops. And some of the donations that we collect here, we've bought and given over 250 big books out to people in recovery centers. We just ordered 500 more, so that's greatly appreciated. Anything you can help us with. There's absolutely no smoking on church property. Please take a moment to silence all cell phones and limit movement during the meeting to avoid distractions. Now, to introduce the speaker, a good friend of the Conscious Contact Speaker Group. Tonight we have Tim H. from the Old Dog New Tricks Group from Boston, Massachusetts.
Hello everyone, I'm an alcoholic. My name is Tim. Let me move this thing. Thank you, Ron, for asking me to speak here. It's always an honor. Where are you? Oh, there's a shiny head. It is a shiny head. I want to thank my friend Patrick L. for driving down. He drove from Portland, Maine to Boston at my house, stayed at my house last night, and then we both drove down here first thing this morning and staying with me. He's an absolute rock star of a best friend, and I'm a lucky man to have him in my life. I want to thank Joe and Zach and Josh and Rob for coming in from Long Island to come in and see me, and Dave from driving up from Philly. I don't deserve to have friends like these. I really don't. I don't know what to say. I'm just going to try to live up to it. I am an alcoholic with the hopeless variety, and that doesn't mean like we get secret Dakota rings or we're going to have t-shirts made. When I drink, I can't stop. There's no stopping me. I have no power And neither do any of you have any power to stop me when I start drinking. That's the craving. And once I've stopped, there's nothing saying when that obsession is going to kick in. Nothing on this earth will stop that obsession kicking in. That's what makes me an alcoholic. The craving and the obsession. That's it. That's it. Differentiates me, as my book tells me, it differentiates me as a separate class from the rest of the human race. I feel so special. I hate the sound of this damn mic. It's one of those things. I never understood it growing up. I just thought that alcohol was my relief. I thought alcohol was my refuge. My thank you, Ron. I don't know what I'm doing up here. I'm just a hot mess. Thank you very much. So, growing up the youngest of five in a town north of Boston called Lowell. A lot of you guys have heard my story already. Fort Hill Park, Bob and Scott, two Bud Tall Boys, the stinky, filthy skyline of the shitty Lowell. And then all of a sudden, I drink these two beers, and everything changed. But nothing was different. I was still in Lowell. I was still 5'5". I still weighed 80 pounds. I was still covered in zits. And I was convinced I was never, ever going to know the touch of another human being. And what alcohol did is it made that all right. Alcohol gave me a conscious shift of my existence, a shift of consciousness. And I resigned myself to chase that feeling with everything I had for the rest of my life. Because who could not, living in the absence of that without knowing that exists, well, fine. That's cool. If you don't know it's there, you don't know to miss it. But once you've experienced it, I'm sorry, but we've got a new agenda, boys and girls. And I'm going to get back to Fort Hill Park every chance I get. So as I left Fort Hill Park with my newfound buzz, with my newfound experience, my aha moment. Climbing up that hill, restless, irritable, discontent, at odds with everyone and everything around me, not fitting right in my skin, convinced I'm dropped off on the wrong planet, born to the wrong family, in the wrong town, in the wrong state, in the wrong continent. And alcohol shifted that in the blink of an eye. Made that all disappear. It was magic. It was an absolute miracle. I had to. So later on in life, as I continued to do what my new higher power started to dictate, my new higher power being alcohol, and that higher power is rather capricious, rather arbitrary, and rather cruel, and sadistic. And it loves to just send me out on little fool's errands. It said, "Oh, you're a very proud young man, Timothy. So we're going to help trim that back a little bit, and we're going to make you debase yourself. Because if you want what I got, I'm going to put you through your paces." So that self-esteem, let's have it. Give it up. Yes, Lord. Here it goes. That dignity, yeah, that's not going to do it all. We'll have that. Yes, Lord. Here it is. Your purpose for being, your ability to look your friends and your brothers, your own flesh and blood in the eye, because now you're a thief, a liar, and a cheat. Yes, Lord. That was my higher power. So no wonder, no galloping shock when I finally do find myself in the halls of Alcoholics Anonymous 10 years later, that they said, we turn our will and our lives over to the care of God as we understood Him. I'm like, full stop. To the care of who? Yeah, I'm all set with that, dude. See, I've got a pretty sketchy past with higher powers, you see. My first higher power, the one that I was born into, the one that I grew up with, was an angry absentee dad who was just keeping a ledger filled with red ink on me. All he was doing was keeping track of everything I did wrong. That was the only thing I knew about God, was he was the invisible babysitter who was a rat. And he's giving you up to mom, and he's going to make you burn in hell for all the trash you've been doing. So now again, decades later, I'm in Alcoholics Anonymous, and now I've got to turn my will and my life over to this care, this loan shark. Yeah, I don't think so. When Abby Thatcher sat down with Bill W. in his kitchen, you guys getting that feedback? Am I too close to this thing, or? Okay. All right. When Bill Wilson invited Abby Thatcher into his house and said, come on in, unmindful of his welfare and thinking of only recapturing days gone by, of feeling that buzz, feeling that when they completed the JAG up in Vermont, when they chartered an airplane. When Abby sat down with Bill that afternoon, that shifted. There was another milestone in world spirituality. That when Abby said, "No, Bill, you can choose a God of your own understanding." And at first, Bill wanted to bristle with antagonism because the idea of the czar of the heavens personal to him, he was all set. And he'd conceded the spirit of the universe, the creative consciousness. That was fine, but a God personal to me, I bristled at such a thought. And then something hit Bill. Something that let him feel the sunlight at last, and he was now out from beneath the shadow of his arrogance that he shivered under for so long. And he could actually concede in the idea of a power greater than himself. A power that was absolute love and it was absolute mercy. And it wasn't this petty little bookkeeper keeping a ledger like some little scumbag clerk. You know? Like really, that's who I had God reduced to. This little nerd, you know? The little tattletale, the hall monitor back in junior high, that little snitch, remember that little rat? He made my fourth step. Dennis. I'm not bitter anymore. I didn't believe I was worthy of God's love. I don't know exactly when I adopted that thought, but it was pretty early on. And I don't know that it caused my alcoholism, but it definitely helped exacerbate it. When I came into Alcoholics Anonymous, crushed by this self-imposed crisis, I'd gotten out of Lowell High School. Damn it. I'd gotten out of Lowell High School by the hair of my chinny chin chin. At 13, I discovered alcohol, and that became my magnetic north. This was all I was going to seek. This is all I was going to do. This is all I was going to care about. This was the only thing I was going to answer to. You're bothering me. And I lost my train of thought. When I came in, when I'd gotten out of Lowell High School, I went into the Marine Corps, and the Marine Corps said, "We like to drink, we love to drink. You suck at this. You're not allowed to drink with us anymore." And they sent me to rehab, and in rehab, I learned all kinds of cool stuff about my inner child, and I didn't even realize I was pregnant. So we got a nursery, you know, and I hope it's a boy. And other than that, I didn't put a lot of stock behind therapy. You see, because me trying to treat alcoholism with therapy is like hunting for buffalo with a BB gun. You got the wrong gear, bro. Me trying to treat issues for therapy like PTSD with AA is again the wrong gear. Therapy has a place in my life today, and it does good work. But I can't use it on my alcoholism. So when I come into meetings of Alcoholics Anonymous that sound more like group therapy sessions gone off the rails, I'm wondering, where's the therapist? because it's like Lord of the Flies, you know? It's like, you know, just any problem you share gets cut in half, you know, and think, and just keep coming and make us make it, and all the other garbage, and I'm like, I don't understand what you guys are talking about. I want to blow my brains out. I'm sober. I've been separated from a drink now for 14 years and 8 months, and I'm getting worse. I'm not happy. I'm a prey to misery and depression. I'm not of use to anyone. I can't engage in a relationship. I can't look people in the eyes. I can't tell people the truth. I lie when the truth will do. I don't even know why I'm lying. Sober. You see, when I climbed Fort Hill Park on that day, I didn't realize I was going to discover alcohol. I didn't realize I was going to, thank you. I didn't know what was going to happen that day, but when I got up there, I actually found this thing that gave me relief from the condition known as TIM. Thank you. And when I got that relief, I was actually able to sit and be quiet, to sit and be comfortable. And as I gained that comfort, as I gained that quiet, I went forward and said, this is how I'm going to live my life. That higher power took, and it took, and it took. The Marine Corps sent me into AA, and I'm getting into AA, and I'm not seeing anything that's offering anything like that kind of relief. The relief that I once had from the condition known as TIM. And I didn't know what to do. They said, just don't drink. It gets better. And they lied. You see, because I'm an alcoholic. Alcohol is my treatment. Alcohol is what I use to get me out of here. I can't find my way out of here. Oh, you got to keep coming. I did. And I'm still in here. I'm still trapped. I'm still isolated. Alcohol gave me the illusion of connection. Alcohol made me feel like you were my brother. I love you. I'll take a bullet for you. Alcohol did that for me. Now I'm taking alcohol away. I've got nothing to make me feel that false connection. And it was a false connection. It was pure BS. But it was something. And now, I've got 14 years and 8 months. I just don't drink. I go to meetings and I just get sicker. And I'm praying for my turn to die. I'm no longer in the Marine Corps. I'm back in Boston. I work for the city of Boston. I've got a dangerous job, and I'm taking more and more dangerous jobs. I'm asking for more and more dangerous assignments because I can't stand the life that I have. I can't stand the man that I am. I can't stop. They told me when I first came in here, and I agreed, you gotta change the dirtbag you brought in here. And I'm like, amen, dude. How? Oh, you'll see. Ooh. Mysticism. Yeah, I grew up with that crap. I didn't believe it then. I don't believe it now. You couldn't sell it to a 6-year-old. You're going to try to sell it to a grown man? Go away. So you got nothing. That's all I'm hearing from AA. You got nothing for me. Now, mind you, I got into this process that engaged in deep, intensive study in the Big Book. And I went into that study in the Big Book, and I wrote a lengthy 4th step that was intense, and it was searching, and it was fearless, and it was thorough, and it was false. The information contained on that 4th step was true, but my motivation was false. Because I wasn't writing a 4th step because I wanted to draw nearer to you and my Creator. I wasn't writing a 4th step so I could better understand myself and figure out my unsaleable goods. Figure out the trash from the treasure. To find out where I am, who I am, and what I've got and what I don't. The reason I was writing that 4th step was so I could look like a big shot. So I could look like a stud on the AA campus. How sad is that? You know, I want to be the coolest kid in the church basement, you know? It harkens back to when I was the coolest kid on the short bus, you know? So as I'm in this, I'm in this process and I'm writing this fourth step that I have no real intention to read to anybody, because my sponsor went on a relapse, and when my sponsor relapsed, I was like, that's it, I'm out. There's my excuse. I'm good. There's my ticket out. Because you hear some people say, oh, don't say that to the newcomer, you'll scare him away. Don't say God to the newcomer, you'll scare him away. What kind of freaking delicate newcomers are you guys getting? My newcomers are harder than a coffin nail. My newcomers don't scare so easy. Not from a monosyllabic word. You say warrant, they'll bolt. 5-0, but not God. They might look at you with a scrunched up face, but they're not bolting anywhere, not for that. So what's the real excuse? Why don't we want to talk about God? Why can I not say God out loud? Why do we have to use cryptic little freaking words? HP, etc., so on and so forth. Why do I have to get cryptic about that? Why do I have to treat it like it's, I say BS because that's profane. Is God profane? Is it? Because I seem to not be allowed to say it now in Open Alcoholics Anonymous meetings. People look at me cross-eyed. So now I've got to apologize for God in my own meetings. Okay. I don't think so. I'm not yielding that. My life was saved by Alcoholics Anonymous and the 12 steps therein. Those 12 steps are spiritual in nature, and in those steps, they're going to have to talk about God. It says so in our big book, that we understand this is contentious by nature, that it is going to precipitate us into a seething cauldron of debate. And they were willing to wade into that seething cauldron because it was a fight worth fighting. And today I'm standing here saying that I'm willing to fight that fight. That it was God that saved me. Not any God that any one religion on this earth could claim. That's not the God of my understanding. Mine is mine and yours is yours. You call yours what you like, but no one gets to tell me what I can and cannot call mine. I kind of got off on a little tangent there. I do that. So I'm writing my fourth step for all the wrong reasons. To do the right thing for the wrong reason is deceit. To do the wrong thing for the right reason is a mistake. I was not making a mistake. I was being deceitful, and I failed. I never read that fifth step. I went out on my relapse, and I started drinking back in 2006, just before I blew my brains out. In 2006, I was at home. I'd just come home from New Year's Eve. I was assigned to Special Operations Division on the Boston PD, and I take my motorcycle home, and I'm just at my wit's end. I earned a good living. It was once considered a respectable living, and I had a nice home, and I drove a nice car, and I was paying my bills, and I was doing all right. I was popular enough. My dance card was full. And I couldn't understand why I've got everything that I thought I needed when I first came in here, and I'm still just as miserable, if not more miserable, than the day I came in. Why isn't this working? There is something fundamentally wrong with me. I don't think I have alcoholism. I think I'm just a psychopath, and I can't stand it anymore. But no one explained to me that psychopaths sleep like babies. Psychopaths don't sweat the shit they do. Alcoholics do. And I was sweating everything I did. I was abundantly aware of what a scumbag I had become sober. And I didn't have the power to stop it. You want to get sober, you got to change the man you brought in here. Yeah, I get that, honey bunny. How? How? Just keep coming. No. Wrong answer. I kept coming, and I didn't get better. I got angrier. And now I'm just getting kind of ostracized. People look at me kind of sideways. Not only is no one asking me to take a podium, they're not letting me read the friggin' preamble. They're not letting me be a greeter. Maybe I'll get lucky and pick up cigarette butts in the parking lot, but that's about it. So where was I going wrong? I'm in this fellowship of Alcoholics Anonymous now for almost 15 years. And where am I going wrong? What is wrong? Meeting makers making. I was making meetings. I just didn't drink and I just kept coming. Check. Meetings made. Check. Kept coming. Check. Hung in there till midnight. Check. What else? What else? Nobody said, do the work. And if they did say it, I couldn't hear it because I was consumed with self. I was consumed with ego. What wrote that fourth step that I could never read to anyone was ego. Ego is the enemy that lies within. Charlie's in the wire. The enemy is in the house. My ego is what hunts me. My ego is what is cunning, baffling, and powerful. My ego is out to kill me. Every other disease on earth kills its victim by it's incidental. The virus reproduces at such a rate that it kills all the healthy tissue around it, and it kills the host. The death of the host, the death of the human, is incidental to the survival of the virus. There's no virus in alcoholism. What's killing me? My own ego. Me looking out for me thinking about me without God. Me thinking about me and never thinking about anyone else. If I'm thinking about you, it's what do you think about me? I couldn't understand. I was a narcissist, egomaniac. And nobody told me. I knew you could see it because people would run from me like I was on fire. And I couldn't understand why. It's like the guy walking around the party with a booger hanging out of his nose, and he's like, Timmy, here's a tissue. You know? It was like, yeah, leave him. He clearly wants it there, you know? You know? I relapsed on January 1st, 2006. I was just going to go out for a bit. Well, actually, I say I relapsed. That's a Disney version. I was getting ready to blow my brains out. And when I was searching for someplace for the brains to land, because my roommate had to clean it up. My roommate was my cousin Eddie, God rest his soul. But when I was living with Eddie at the time, I didn't want him to have to clean up a mess, because he still had to live there after I was gone. So I'm like, where's this going to land that's going to be easy to clean up? And as I look around the kitchen, there's vodka in the freezer, you know. I mean, it seems only fair, doesn't it? I mean, if you're going to punch your ticket, you might as well punch out with a buzz. I mean, that's not too much to ask. So I just took a little sip. It could hurt. And at once, welcome back to Fort Hill Park, boys and girls. Hey, Timmy's back and he's smiling. Happy Timmy's alive and well. Jesus, holster that freaking thing up. You could hurt someone with that. That's a 45. I mean, it's a big hole. And all of a sudden, that ease and comfort that came at once with a few drinks. You see, because I'm an alcoholic. If I were a problem drinker, separation from alcohol would have cured me. But as an alcoholic, separation from alcohol is treatment of one outward symptom. The truly lethal symptoms of my condition remain unchecked. It's like having bubonic plague and then taking Clarisil for the boils, you know? You know? It's it. Like, I'm gonna do a mud thing. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna all clear right up. It'll be gorgeous. I'm gonna get tan in bed, you know? So, I'm trying to shine the brass in the Titanic on my life by just not drinking and keeping the outside clean, you know, hitting the gym, staying faded up and looking tight. But I took that drink and all of a sudden I experienced that relief, that ease and comfort, that thing that made everything different where nothing had changed. And I was like, I am home. And then it did what it does. As all false solutions do, as the false self does, it is doomed to fail. The false solution is doomed to fail. The golden calf is doomed to fail. And it did. And about a week in, I said, you know what? This experiment's gone on about long enough. I think it's time we just tap the brakes a little bit, see what happens. And when the brake pedal just swings to the floor, and all of a sudden you go pale and like, whoa. And you can hear it laughing in the back. I could hear it laughing in the back of my head. Like, oh no, honey bunny. When you dance to the devil, you wait for the music to stop. And so now I'm on this dance floor with this demon, with this self that is saying, you remember the rules. We're debasing you. We're humiliating you. We're degrading you. These are the rules. You've adopted me as your higher power again, Tim, and these are the rules, and I'm on board. And it's not asking if I'm okay with that. So as it progressed, a week in, I'm calling my sponsor, my old sponsor, who was like, Tim who? I'm like, hey, God, you remember me? The short guy with the bad haircut? You know? And he was like, yeah, what's up? I was like, I'm trying to stop. I'm trying not to drink. He's like, Timmy, just get to a meeting. I'm like, I did. It made it worse, you know? And he's like, you got to hang in there. You got to hang in there till midnight. I'm hanging in there for what? What's staying in a click? You know? There was no hope. There wasn't, my friend Steve has a saying, if you're trying to get a bone away from a dog, it really helps to have a steak. And no one was offering a steak. No one was offering, I can give you something that will give you peace and ease and comfort without any derogatory side effects. But it's going to require some action on your part. Are you willing to go to any length to find that feeling? Because I went to any length when I was drinking. For alcohol, I went to that length every single time, without question, without fail, without falter. And now I'm back and I'm terrified because my old sponsor had nothing for me. And I went to the meetings and I heard this one dude say, I swear to I don't know how I didn't crush his windpipe. He's like, yeah, I could tell you were going to relapse. And I was like, don't ever say that. Because like the most brutal homicidal thoughts went through my head. And if not for the logistics of where to put the body, that guy would be gone right now. So I get, it's a month in, 2 months, 3 months, 5 months, 6 months, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 months in. It's not getting any better. I'm not coming home. I'm going to die like this. I'd convinced myself that this is exactly how it's going to end, and you know what? You got it coming. I didn't have a very high opinion of myself. I believed that was exactly what I had coming because, you see, I had this bite of the apple. And I had, even though I'm a pathological liar, I'm an untreated alcoholic, I did have just one shred of sanity in there that said, you were engaged with the guys in the step study, why didn't you just tell them the truth? You were engaged with the guys who were living just like you were, who got out of it and said, Timmy, come with us. We're living a better way. We're doing better stuff. Now, they weren't beating me over the head with a big book, and they weren't screaming great tidings. This is the great fact for us. They weren't doing all that, but they clearly did something that I wasn't. And I was never interested enough to ask them. I just saw they were getting better and I wasn't, and I resented them for it. Get out of my face. Because truth be told, I wasn't interested in getting better. I wasn't interested in spiritual growth. I wasn't interested in recovery. I just wanted to not drink because I'm lazy. That's all. I didn't think I was that bad because I'm delusional. That's all. The most deadly lie I'll ever tell is the one I believe. I didn't think I was that bad. I'm chugging vodka at 7 o'clock in the morning. Not that bad. I'm on my way home from work one night in October. It was a night like any other for the last 10 months. My drinking was gone off the rails. Everyone at work was starting to notice the difference. Like, Timmy, you never used to drink. Now you're always drunk. Go home. and they sent me home again. And I'm like, yeah, it's only a matter of time they're going to launch me out of this unit. It's a pretty elite unit, and they can't have someone like me there, and I don't blame them. And then I pull over to Tedeschi's, which is like you guys got the Wawa down here, right? I pull into Wawa, and there's this guy who is really active in Boston AA. This is the guy who's putting on commitments in prisons and going to halfway houses and detoxes and rehabs, and like, he's like, I mean, this guy put on a commitment in a kindergarten if you asked him, you know. He just didn't, he'd deliver the message wherever you want, like he didn't care, you know. And he's just a really good guy, and I can't stand him because I'm so not, you know. And standing next to him, the contrast is so stark. I'm like, I am such a shitbag. Please go away. You know, please go away. It just makes it look so much worse. If that was even possible. And he sees me, and of course he's like, Timmy, how you doing? I'm like, oh God, could you just make believe you don't see me, you know? And I'm in full uniform. Of course he sees me. I glow in the friggin' dark. I'm wearing reflector panels, a bright shiny blue helmet, you know, the bright yellow, the OSHA canary yellow coat and the boots. And so I show him how to get to this meeting he was trying to get to. And when I showed him how to get there, he didn't invite me in, and I caught a screaming 5-pound resentment. Oh, you, because I am responsible, blah, blah. I remember, I heard that somewhere. I can't remember. Yeah. And he wasn't being responsible. I'm like, yes, the Archbishop has fallen. He failed. Oh, he's mortal. He's human. I reveled in his failure to be responsible, so I couldn't, because I'm an asshole, you know. I'm sorry, Ron. I know I'm not supposed to swear, but you got to call a spade a spade. It's just what I am. It's truth. It's an honest program, right? So, and notice I use past tense. It's still, you know. But I'm angry at Pat because he didn't invite me in. When the truth of the matter is that I'm well aware, because I know Pat dearly. He was a close personal friend. And Pat didn't say anything because he knew the state I was in, and he knew how embarrassed I'd be for the state I was in front of him and his new guys. So when he didn't invite me in, he knew exactly what he was doing, and he was doing it out of mercy, not negligence. But I just decided to take the petty road, because that's what I do. You know? I got a speed pass for the petty road. You know, so I'm on the petty road. I call Pat up. I'm like, yeah, you get in there all right? Thanks for the invite, bro. And he's like, oh, Timmy, geez, you know, of course, you're more than welcome. We'd love to have you with us. Oh, geez, thanks for the invite, Mr. President of AA, you know. And I went into this meeting because I resented him. Oh. God just loves to show off. Just loves to show off. He's like, yeah, Timmy, I'm God. I use whatever I want to get you where I need you. If I need a resentment to get you where you need to be, resentment shall be. Would you like fries with that? And here it comes. There's resentment. Now I'm standing there in this meeting, and this kid, half my age, with a lengthy criminal background, because he's telling me all about it, right? Face to face, from me to Pat right here, and just telling me the whole shebang. And I'm standing there with my mouth agape. Because he's telling my story. Because he's talking about restless, irritable, and discontent. He's talking about the fear. He's talking about the disconnect. How he just wanted to feel connected. His whole life he felt, in a room full of 1,000 clones, he would feel isolated. And I'm like, yes! I have a twin brother. I feel alone. I've never been alone in my life. Not for 5 minutes. I couldn't go to the toilet alone for the first 15 years of my life. You know, everywhere we went, we were the twins. It's like, my name is Tim, you know? Like, that's Matt, I'm Tim. We're not the twins, but that's it. So, I'm suffering from this isolation. I'm suffering from this perceived individuality. And alcohol lent me some false connection. All of a sudden, my drinking buddies and my brothers, and I'd lay down in traffic for you guys and blah, blah, blah. And that wears off as soon as the buzz does. But what this guy up there on that podium was telling me was something real, was something lasting, because I could see the men he was with. I've been to combat. I know what that look is. These guys had been to the wars together. They go through the trenches together. They're carrying this message in the most sordid places on earth without fear or peril. They have nothing to be afraid of. It's funny, we were sitting down, Pat and Joe and I and the boys were sitting down for dinner and coffee before the meeting tonight, and we were talking about Kensington over in Philly, right? And it's like, oh, we love Kensington. It's a hellhole, right? Like anyone who's ever been there, last stop is a freaking toilet. And it's like, and we're all like, what a great place. We love it so much. Because we'd been to this most sordid place on earth and felt safe and protected and as if we belonged. Because we were there for a noble purpose. We were there for the right purpose. To carry a message of hope. To bring something to those who had none. Hope. My God. To bring hope to an active alcoholic. To bring hope to an addict. There's no more noble pursuit on earth. And it's what I get to do every single day. I hope I never lose sight of the fact that I get a front row seat to miracles. I'm not performing these. Make no mistake, I have no delusion there. I just get to bear witness. You see, that guy standing up at that podium, that kid, he became my sponsor that night. That was October the 10th, 2006, and that was my first night sober. And I haven't had a need to drink since. October the 9th, that same year, the day before, I couldn't imagine getting to 4 o'clock without getting hammered. I couldn't face the idea of going till 4 p.m. without getting at least half in the wrapper. And the very next night, that obsession was removed. It was gone. I didn't cure it. I didn't figure it out. Not a Rubik's Cube. I didn't do it. I had nothing to do. All I said was, thy will be done. I offered myself to him as I understand him. And he took that thing from me so I could be of greater service to my fellows. Period. It was as simple as that. I don't work on my problems. Why? Because I suck at that. I'm no good at working on my problems. I've proven that at great length. What I'm good at today is this. I just let go, and the problem is handled. God doesn't do anything for me that I can do for myself. God doesn't pay my friggin' gas bill. God doesn't take care of my registration or my insurance or my, like that. Those are things I can handle. God will not do anything for me that I can do for myself. But the things that I cannot do for myself, all I need to do is ask. I had my time I had this vision in my head of myself 6 years old on Christmas morning at the foot of the Christmas tree. My dad is sitting there in his bathrobe and his slippers, his pajamas, and he's drinking his coffee. And he's watching us open the presents that Santa gave us. He's not even looking for the victory lap. Like, hey, I gave you that shit. Like, Dad was cool. My dad was a wonderful guy. And he was a crane operator, right? Local 4. And I wanted so bad just to be a crane operator because my dad was the coolest thing on earth. And I want to be the coolest thing on earth. And that's a crane operator. So yeah, I want a Tonka truck crane for Christmas, please. And Santa gave me a Tonka truck crane for Christmas. It was so awesome. It was steel with sharp edges so you could cut yourself open on it. No bubble wrap for this generation. I'm a Gen X. So, it's got a little boom on it, and it's got a scoop and a winch and all kinds of cool stuff. And it says right on it, ages 8 to 12, and I'm 6. Why? Because his son asked him for it, and he could never say no to his son because he loves his son. He loves all his children. So I asked him for this thing, and he knows I'm probably not going to be so great with it, but I asked for it, and he loves me, so he let me have it. And so I'm sitting there, and I'm doing the thing, and I'm working the winch and the spindle, and I F this thing up to a fairly well. It's in knots, right? The crane is all bent over, and the spool, the winch is all tangled, and everything, and the bucket is crooked, and I mean, the thing is effed, just to the nines, like it's done. Like, that was a long Christmas day. Like, it lasted till about 10 a.m. And I'm sitting there and I'm frantic. I'm on the floor and I'm trying to undo it. I'm clearly just making it worse. And my dad's watching me, and he's watching me. And finally, I just like, Dad! And I hand it up to him, and he's like, give it to me, buddy. I got it. And he takes it from me, and he sits there, and he doesn't scorn me. He puts on his glasses down the bottom of his nose. The dad thing, right? Right, yeah. And just starts on effing the thing. Dad had a master's degree in on effing stuff, right? Dad was a wizard, right? He was such a cool dude. So patient, so generous, so gentle. The guy was a gorilla, but he was as gentle as a lamb. And just, he handed it back to me in perfect working order. And that's my higher power. That's the vision I have of my higher power today. That patient, gentle, loving, caring, understanding. He understands. You see, I'm the one that doesn't understand. I've been the one telling myself lies for so long, I can no longer discern the truth from the false. So, God doesn't hold it against me that this is the state that I'm in. When I go to him and I've got this thing in knots that's all bent and broken and bruised, and I'm like, ah! And he's like, give it to me, buddy. And he just takes it. And some days I just snatch it right back, and he's like, okay. Because it was my gift, you see. My first birthday present on earth was my free will. And my Father gave me that gift. And he'll never take it back unless I ask him to. If I don't ask, my shit's my shit, and I'm keeping it, and it's going to keep stinking. But if I ask, it's taken care of. God will never get into a tug of war with me. I'm not going to hand him, I'm not going to stand there like this and say, God, take this from me. And he's like, let it go, buddy. Take it. Let it go, buddy. Take it. It's like, stupid, let it go. And I can't let it go because I'm self-reliant. And that's where I need a sponsor. That's where I need a trusted friend. I need a human voice who's been through this process, who knows this way, who knows our way of life, and who can say, Timmy, you're not letting it go. You've never let it go. It's time. Grow up. And then I can let it go. And as I do let it go, I know peace. I don't figure anything out. If you're working on your problems, oh, for Christ's sake, please stop. For pity's sake, please stop it. I'm done working on my problems today, and I'm reasonably happy. I hand my problems over to God as I understand them, as I understand him. Some of my problems I'm not even aware are mine yet, and that's okay. Everything will come in God's time. I'm not going to get all better all at once. It's going to unfold as it needs to, because God has a plan. And that plan is none of my business, because if I find out the plan, I'll F it up. Because that's what I do. Today I live sober and happy at the same time. I'm not waiting for my turn to die, and nor am I praying for that day to come. I'm not afraid of that day to come, but I'm actually enjoying my life today because I have men in my life that I call friends. I have women in my life that I call my sisters that I truly love. I belong today. I belong in this earth. I belong in this skin. Right here, drunk, medium regular. Not on the top of the perch, not hiding underneath it, just in the middle. A servant. And I think that's about all I got for time. 5 more minutes? All right. I can stop making stuff up. I can tell you Pat's story. But, yeah. Oh, there's one other thing I wanted to point out. And, oh yeah. Where is he? Yeah, where is he? Zachary. It's that guy's 1-year anniversary today. Zachary, stand up. On your feet. On your feet. Thank you, Zach. He's going to kick my ass after this, I know. But see, we get a front row seat to miracles. This is Alcoholics Anonymous. This is where I get to see the impossible take place. Before the meeting started, I was in my hotel room. I was frantic. I was on the phone with my friend Jack's father. And Jack's father said, Timmy, Jack's car's in the driveway. He's not answering the door. Jack's been on a tough way. And I'm like, how long you been out there? He says, 2 hours. I'm like, kick the door in. Kick the door in. He's overdosed. Kick the door in. Can I do that? I'm a cop. I'm telling you to kick the door in. Kick the door in. They got to him in time. Jack's going to live. Thank God. Narcan's given us some borrowed time on this nightmare, on this hellscape. But we can't afford to sit back and let alternative solutions live in Alcoholics Anonymous. Shooting for midnight is not a solution. Just keep coming is not a solution. These are things that we have to do. We do have to keep coming for the miracle to take place, for the solution to set in. But the 12 steps of Alcoholics Anonymous are the solution. They are the miracle. And don't wait for a miracle that took place in 1934. It's already here. It's yours. It's for free and it's for fun. Alcoholics Anonymous is not free because it's worthless. It's free because it's priceless. How do you put a price tag on everything? Everything in life, everything. From love to friends to peace, prosperity, sunny days, rainy days. Everything is what we have. Everything is what we have to offer. And they can't sell it, so they won't mention it. But this is Alcoholics Anonymous, and the 12 steps is our solution. Thank you.
Epic talk. Thanks, Tim. Let's thank Tim one more time. It's customary for us to form a line and thank our speakers personally. It means a lot to them. They come here at their own time and expense, and that's it's so important to know that they are appreciated. So let's do that there. If you are struggling, like Tim talked about, and you're suffering in sobriety, please see us after the meeting. Our sister group is a big book study. It meets over there on Thursday. Come over there and hang with us and listen and possibly get into what will change your life and change the whole trajectory of your sobriety. Anyway, we have a nice way of closing. Let's thank everybody. There's so many people that behind the scenes that also do so much work. Take a moment of silence. Do with it what you like. And if you care to join us, we will end with the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses,